All right, welcome to the 2025 Trade Stocktake. I'm your host, Phoenix Trinidad. This is Mitch Keating. Hello, mate.
Hey, mate.
How are you?
I'm good.
Excited?
Things seem busy, though.
Yeah.
It is Friday morning, first day of free agency, so something might happen while we're shooting. We might get a live reaction, but at the same time, trade period's on Monday and heaps of business is getting done before the weekend. So, plenty to unpack.
So, full disclosure, we did try filming this video. We did film this video about 2 days ago.
Wednesday, Arvo.
But since then, too much stuff has happened. So we're going to film it again.
Yeah, can't wait for a third shoot.
Yeah. In about 3 hours. So what this is 90 seconds on each club. We're just going to do a stock take for each club, what your reported trade targets are, off-contract players, what moves we think that each club is going to make in the trade period. So you don't have to sit there and listen to 2 weeks of trade radio or whatever it is. So
it's all here. Yeah, no ties, sponsorships, but
do you want to tell me what you want out of this trade period? My big thing is a player-for-player swap, straight swap.
Would love a player-for-player swap. I don't see a lot of them anymore. I feel like we got one recently, though, but I can't remember what. I don't know. It was going to be a bit of a fizzer, I reckon, if you asked probably 2 months ago. Now you've got Petrarca and Oliver, Merritt, Curnow. There's a few others popping up. And there could be a bit more. Usually the week after the grand final and before trade period, there's usually something big that pops up.
Yeah.
And we're almost at the end. So we'll see.
Yeah, as a D's fan, I was hoping for some sleep over this trade period, but not gonna happen. All right, let's get to it. Trade Stock Take 2025. Alrighty, so we're going alphabetical order. We have our junior editor off camera with the timer, 90 seconds. Let's start with Adelaide. 3, 2, 1. Adelaide.
Cool. Kalachi's already requested a trade to the Crows, so that'll be ticked off early into it'll be moving early into the trade period. Whether a deal actually gets done day 1, day 2, not sure. It could actually stretch out to the second week. We'll just have to see what Adelaide can do because they're quite busy with. Well, I guess they've missed out on Christian Petrarca. They might not get Zach Merritt. But Clayton Oliver, they've had interest in him before. They need probably a contested ball to kind of help their midfield at the moment. I think anything is kind of a gamble for him. But any move for Clayton Oliver should come with not having to give up a lot in trade capital. And hopefully Melbourne are paying some of that salary cap. So he could be a bit of a bargain. There's a bit of baggage, but all signs point to, I think, him being an astute selection for one club.
Yep.
Whether it's the Crows, don't know. But now that they aren't getting tracked, they won't get Merritt. And Kalachi won't cost too much, I don't think. That might be one for them. They're not really losing any player, though, I don't think, either. If they wanted to get a Petrarca, they might have had to have given up a player or something. But I think they're pretty settled with the list they've got, and you'd expect Tex plays on next year. Yeah,
I think he may have already recommitted, but so Tex likely to play on. It looks like they're just going to be rating for some midfield talent. I think only question I had for them was whether or not Tex stays on and whether they're going to be all right with those 3 tall forwards. But I think one more year seems like it could be okay.
Yep, they probably just don't have someone to step up if they still want to run 3 talls. Tyler Welsh probably needs another year or 2 of development.
All right, cool. Easy. Adelaide, done?
17 to go.
All right. The big dogs in Brisbane. A lot to work through here. So 3, 2, 1, Brisbane.
So it's actually going to be quite enjoyable for spring for the Lions for very obvious reasons. Premiership straight into free agency where they're going to pick up Oscar Allen, who is their Joe Danaher replacement, which comes 12 months after people thought they might have got their Joe Danaher replacement. And in between then, they still won a flag. So things are pretty good for Brisbane right now. So Oscar Allen will spearhead that forward line. Logan Morris, Ty Gallup, Eric Hipwood. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of balance all 4 of those guys. Does Hipwood play up on the wing and in defence? What does a club maybe come asking for him? But he's going to miss half a year anyway, so he probably just sticks around for the very least. Sam Draper will become their first string ruckman. What that means for Oscar McInerney and Darcy Fort, not sure, but Draper too is going to miss most of the 2026 season anyway, so they'll still have a little bit to rely on there. They'll lose Brandon Starcevic, likely to a trade. He's a free agent, but it'll likely be to a trade just so West Coast don't stuff up their draft hand, and Brisbane probably end up getting a better pick than what they would for the compensation, so that'll likely be a pick 19 or 20. The Eagles have 2 of those selections in that range. Dev Robertson also to West Coast, off contract, but will need to be traded. Cal Archie will go to Adelaide.
Yeah.
What that's for, I'm not quite sure, but there's a fair bit happening for Brisbane.
Question on Lincoln McCarthy. We've got 20 seconds left.
Yep.
How likely is he to go, and can Melbourne take him somehow?
No, he'd probably just stick around. I don't know if he's in the best 23 anymore, but it would be a nice get for a club like Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time. Easy. All right, so Carlton. There's a lot more on this list than I remember there being last time we filmed this, but let's go again. 3, 2, 1, Carlton.
So we actually know probably a fair bit about the Blues. I'll start with the exits first. So Tom De Koning, Jack Silvani, they'll head to St Kilda pretty early in the free agency period. So band 1 combo for Tom De Koning is probably about pick 9. That balloons out a little. And then band 2 probably for Silvani, it's about pick 20. That'll go out a little as well by that actual draft night. But they'll probably end up trading the De Koning pick, I think, just to make sure they get a bid in for Harry Dean, father-son, potential top 5 selection there. The other things we know are that Liam Reedy's requested to trade to Carlton. Campbell Chess has requested to trade to Carlton. Buku Khamis has requested to trade to Carlton. All are off contract. So they'll have a little bit of leverage in that regard, but they all still need to actually be traded. They're not free agents.
Do they all get done?
It should. Yeah, I don't think that their clubs will be sticking too much of a stance on those ones. Plus, they're off contract, so if nothing gets done, pre-season draft should be even easier for the Blues without having to give up anything. And they get a good balance there. They get another ruckman who can compete with Mark Pinnet for the number 1 role. Think Lloyd Meek vibes from Liam Reedy. Campbell Chesser, former first-round pick, can play all over the ground, just had a few issues with injury. Buku Khamis, probably their Jack Silvani replacement. Then you look at Bailey Humphries popped up. Changuth Jas popped up. Sam Flanders has popped up for them. So they've actually still got a fair bit to sort out still.
Yeah. But they've only got 37, 45, and 63 in the draft.
Well, yeah, that's when the De Koning and Silvani compensation selections might come into the mix to help them trade. But they also need to keep points next year for Cody Walker. There's a fair bit that's playing out for them. Yeah.
Okay. Busy one. Oh, I thought we would get cut off, but that was time.
Perfect.
Easy. All right. Collingwood. Let's go. Okay, just taking a look. Yep. 3, 2, 1. Collingwood.
We did this first shoot 2 days ago. Jamie Elliott might have been going. I think it was literally an hour after we stopped filming. He re-signed.
An hour after.
So
it was awful.
It sounded like Carlton were interested, and then he was just like, "Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm staying at Collingwood." That was quite funny. Seems like Mason Cox, Tom Mitchell still have uncertain futures. Have been told to look maybe elsewhere if they can. I think the Pies probably keep both of them if they don't find a suitor, which I would think would be unlikely for 2 of their players at their age with their injury history. Brody Mychek might leave unrestricted free agent, so they're not going to be able to stand in his way all that much. But I think it's probably for the best for Collingwood. They are going to get Jack Buller, it sounds like. I think AFL.com have reported that he'll request a trade from Sydney to Collingwood. He had a pretty solid year after a quiet first 18 months in Sydney after being a mid-season draft pickup, injury form, and obviously the Swans had a much stronger forward line in 2024 than they did this year. But he had some quite nice signs. They've been linked to Anthony Caminiti, but I don't think he moves. To be fair to the Saints, though, if they get Alir, get Silvani, have Taru, keep Wilkie, what does that mean for Anthony Caminiti? Maybe a club like Collingwood could have a look at a key defender of him. Doesn't sound like the Pies are interested in Stephen May anymore. Bailey Humphries popped up, and this is literally like minutes before we started filming this, as a potential target for a number of clubs. I don't know how Collingwood get him, but they're supposed to be interested according to SEN.
Yeah, my only thing from there is I'm going to miss Oleg Markov. But yeah, that's about it. Cool. Collingwood done. Easy.
Sweet.
Alrighty, the big dogs.
We're talking about Essendon next, aren't we?
Yeah. There's only one guy. Yeah. Although they're losing him, then I'll bring anyone. All right.
It's not.
Essendon, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Yeah, we'll talk about Zach Merritt. I still don't think this is him definitely gone. I think that.
Do you watch his BNS speech?
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
But that's been the same. It's going to be interesting given Andrew Welsh kind of said he'll be staying. So the kind of spill up from that, if he does leave, will be fascinating. What they get for him as well will be fascinating. Hawthorn have to stump up pick 8. Probably a future first rounder and probably a player of good value, not just a player that's off contract that Essendon could get for nothing anyway. Who that is, Cam McKenzie's been floated. Josh Sarong is one of those off contract guys who's a player I'll probably bring up a little bit on this app because I think he's the value pick of the trade period. But yeah, I think they could hold him and it's not going to be the worst thing. Hold him to his contract and bring him back. Not ideal, obviously. But
I mean, he said in his speech that he's fine with it.
Yeah. So Josh Strong's actually been linked to the Bombers, as has Braden Fiorini, but he's also got interest from Port Adelaide and could end up staying at Gold Coast. The big target for Essendon is Sam Flanders. Yep. I think if Merritt was to leave or Flanders wants to get to Essendon, then I think those two things could work.
Yeah.
If they get that replacement in.
Well, they got picks 4 and 5 as well.
They'll keep those. They won't be
they'll
using
keep
those
those?
for Sam Flanders. I think future
23 for Flanders.
No, they will get compo for Sam Draper.
Yeah.
There might be, and if they lose Merritt, then that probably makes it easier to get Flanders. But they need Flanders to want to join them. He's got interest from Melbourne, St Kilda, and another club.
Last thing, compo for Draper.
Yeah, about Ben 2, about pick 20.
Okay. Cool. Time? Easy. Oh, God. Freo. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Freo.
Yeah, this will be a little bit more straightforward. Now, Judd McVie has requested a trade to the Dockers. Actually, as a D's fan, like, what do you think would be a fair return for Judd McVie?
I am very big on Judd McVie. I think he's one of our best, if not the best, young promising players. He's definitely in our best 22. Probably had a bit of a down year just due to injury and whatnot, but like his first year was incredible. I think he's worth a bit, whether or not, I mean, I'd love I said I want to play for player swap, so, I'll take a Luke Jackson or whatever they want to offer, but I think he's first round pick.
Right, so they've got pick 11 and then picks 30 and 39.
Yep.
What if they put 30 and 39 together?
I have, you're the draft expert. I don't know if that's worth it, but...
He's not getting... I don't think pick 11 is...
No, I'm very hopeful, but I
There's
don't
a
think
difference
it's gonna be
between
that. But I think he's... I think you can make a case that he's one of our best young players. So I am emotionally, I want a lot for him, but I don't think we're going to get that.
I really rate him. I do. I love Judd McVie. Not a lot of good young lockdown defenders of his caliber. In saying that, I think pick 30 or pick 39 gets it done. I don't think you're getting a first round pick. They could package 30 and 39 together. Maybe something else goes towards the Dockers. But Freo will bolster their draft hand with Will Brodie and Liam Reedy both requesting trades to Port Adelaide and Carlton respectively. So they'll have a few more picks to use. I don't know if they need that many draft selections, but cool.
Broke my heart.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Your boys, Geelong. 3, 2, 1.
Well, always busy. The Cats, James Warple free agency, that could be ticked off, I think, by the time we've finished shooting this video. Yep. So he'll head to the Cats as a free agent. Not going to cost them much in salary, I don't think, either. Still like a solid price, but not overs or anything. I don't think Hawthorn were that fussed about trying to match a deal for him as a restricted free agent. Clayton Oliver, I don't know if the Cats go for him, and that's probably because they've got tabs on both Charlie Curnow and Rowan Marshall, who would be clear priorities, having already picked up James Warple. That doesn't make sense if the Cats would be interested in Clayton Oliver this time around once more. As cheap
Not
as
Oliver and Warple.
Exactly. Yeah. So Marshall or Curnow is the next question. Do you prioritise a ruckman who the Cats have always needed a better ruckman? But in saying that, ruckman don't necessarily win you flags. Like A-grade ruckman don't necessarily win you flags unless you're Melbourne. With Max gone.
But yep.
And then, no doubt. But then, look who Reece Stanley had to come up against on ruck. He's probably the best ruckman out there. So they probably prioritise Curnow. The issue with that is I have no idea how Geelong get Curnow without having to give up a good player. And no one seems to want to leave Geelong for very obvious reasons. When you are getting Charlie Curnow, what teammate would want to leave that? So very tricky situation for the Cats.
Marshall more likely than Curnow.
Marshall easier.
Yeah.
But Curnow would be a preference for sure.
Yeah. How likely are both of them?
I don't think you can get both done. So one or the other.
Yeah.
And I think if you have to settle, get Marshall.
Time. Lovely. All right. The Nepo babies themselves, Gold Coast. 3, 2, 1.
Well, Track's on his way to the Suns.
Yep.
Officially a destination club. They
100%.
picked up Rioli and Noble last year, which was a big improvement on the trade space and history that the Gold Coast Suns have had, just given where their list has been. And a lot of football players want to go to Queensland if they're not from there. But that was big last year. Absolutely massive now. Christian Petrarca wanting to be a Gold Coast Sun. Charlie Curnow wanting to be a Gold Coast Sun. He's got interest in a few clubs, but this is significant. Now, they're not going to get both of those players. I think you can probably put a line through Charlie Curnow going, unless the Suns lose a Sam Flanders and a Bailey Humphrey. The latter has popped up as a potential trade option for rival clubs, but I think the Suns will want to keep him as well. With Petrarca coming in, though, Bailey Humphrey is probably thinking, well, what does that mean for me for 2026? So a few moving players. Yeah, I think Petrarca and Ugle-Hagan might be Gold Coast's ins.
Yep.
Charlie Curnow, no. And then you look at Malcolm Roses requesting a trade to Sydney. Connor Boderick to the Western Bulldogs, Sam Flanders to one of the Victorian clubs. That's enough outs. I think they can try and keep Humphrey and get Petrarca. I think that works.
Yeah. If Jamara happens, cheap.
Yeah, like he's got, I think, a good deal. I don't know if the Dogs pay it, but he's not costing you a good pick at all.
Yeah. Love it. I'm also going to take the last 10 seconds to request a trade to the Gold Coast. If they need a podcaster or someone to work in their media, I'm keen.
Cool.
I would like to follow Christian. All right, time. Sorry.
That was all right.
GWS, 90 seconds. Go.
Well, this I think was looking a bit boring when we shot it 2 days ago.
Yep.
They've signed Jaden Laverde. That'll be as an SSP, so that won't happen through the trade or draft periods. It'll happen after the draft. They just want experience and some depth, particularly in the key defensive stocks. They'll lose Lekalier, so that opens up some minutes potentially, but the Taylor, Buckley, Iden trios does the Giants quite well. All in all, Jacob Weir will join Port Adelaide as early as this video. Might have already happened. That'll be as a free agent, so not a lot to get in the way of that one. I think Tom Morris reported that they're actually quite keen on Clayton Oliver.
Yep.
It makes a bit of sense. I think, Adams Kingsley is one who could certainly get the most out of a player like that, but how he would work with Tom Green, Finn Callahan, I love that midfield mix.
Yep.
But is it one too many? They might not have Josh Kelly for a lot of last year. Stephen Cornelio's on the older end, so maybe it is that third string midfielder that Clayton Oliver doesn't have as much pressure and can thrive in a role. Wade Dirksen, their only off-contract player, wanted to get to Melbourne. That might not happen anymore. I think he'd be a good player to keep. Great depth swing man, particularly when they're wanting some more key defenders just in that pecking order.
Is GWS the best fit midfield-wise, role-wise for Oliver?
No, probably Adelaide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. Time. Easy. Shorter. All right. The big players. Hawthorn.
Hawks.
3, 2, 1. Hawk.
Yeah, so won't be getting Petrarca, obviously, but they've always had merit as their priority. And how this gets done, I don't know. This could be a deadline day thing. Like, we might not know if he's going or not come the final day of the trade period on October 15th. They have to give up pick 8, have to give up another first rounder, and maybe something else. They'll get compo for James Warple. That might be a pick in the mid-30s to late 30s. Don't know if that really moves the needle on any negotiations for Zach Merritt, though. They need to give up a player. Is it a Cam McKenzie or a Josh Ward? Do they add Jai Sarong into the mix? Essendon just need to get aggressive and just ask for a much better package than what Hawthorn will likely put on the table. And then, the Bombers have all the weight in this negotiation with Zach Merritt being contracted, and I don't think they'll mind if he has to stick around for 2026. Other than Warple, it doesn't really look like anyone's leaving, but Sarong, I think, would be the best pickup for his price. I think just a good bargain, off contract, key defender, VFL Team of the Year, best and fairest in the VFL last year, great interceptor, great one-on-one defender, and good mover on the other way with the footy. So, yep, if there's a club, look at Josh Sarong, I reckon. Yeah,
you're selling Sarong hard in this video, but in terms of merit, what is that? Nothing's been reported in terms of what they would be offering.
Not really. It just has to be pick 8, future first, and then something decent as well.
Yeah.
3 decent assets.
I think that's pretty decent. Yeah. Cool. All right. Work's done. Oh, okay. Melbourne.
We don't have to do this.
No, it's all right. I'm actually quite excited about this. So, Melbourne, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Brody Mychek.
Brody Mychek. Yeah, well, it sounds like he might be keen to get the Ds. I don't know if I love it for you guys, though. Like, what I saw from him in the second half of this year wasn't great.
Yeah.
But maybe just a fresh summer, preseason, maybe even a fresh start in the red and blue might get him back to his best.
I'd like a 1 or 2 year contract max. Yeah.
Yeah, he probably might be moving because of a longer deal. I don't have the specifics, but that would make a bit of sense. He might help with your forward line woes a little bit. He's a good forward, just needs to be playing good footy. Sam Flanders is interested, I think, in Melbourne, but he's also probably interested in Essendon, Carlton, and St Kilda, just given the amount of money that's floating around. He'd be a great get given you're losing Petrarca and Oliver. Max Heath has been linked. Don't know if he gets there. Fringe ruck forward. And the Ds probably just need as many Max Gorn succession plan people as they need, even though they'll probably just go and trade for one in 2 years' time.
Yep.
Track and Clary. Track, thank God he's gone to the Gold Coast for Melbourne people, just given they've actually got good trade capital. You know, they've got Sam Flanders, they've got Bailey Humphrey.
Yep.
You might be able to get something decent for him. Don't know if it's going to be one of those guys, but could be, at the very least, it could be some good picks.
Yep.
Clary, on the other hand, just try and get the salary cap off your books.
Yeah.
If it's a Jack Bowes deal, maybe run with it. Like maybe just throw in a pick and get nothing back for Clayton
Or-
Oliver, which is amazing to think.
Or we could pay him over $1 million to play Casey.
Yeah.
So, fun. North Melbourne. 3, 2, 1. 2 Ds on the list.
Yeah, look, to be fair, I don't think there's going to be a lot happening for North Melbourne. They've missed out on a few guys. Like Tyler Young wants to go to West Coast. Connor Butterick wants to go to the Western Bulldogs. And there might have been a few others. One guy that will get is Charlie Spargo. So yeah, Premiership Demon, some
Good pick up for
experience, small forward, might get a better role with the Roos. Not going to move the needle heaps, but he's a free agent. He's not costing them anything. Jake Leave has been linked. I think he'd be a good get for them, but it probably doesn't make sense on Melbourne's end now, just given Stephen May's kind of been shuffled out the door. So maybe it's just Spargo. They've had interest in Jai Sarong, who I've already mentioned would be a great get for any club, and North Melbourne in particular, who are just trying to settle on their key position stocks. Toby Pink, Charlie Comben, great pairing for the future. Do they get Will Dawson in defence or playing forward? Because they certainly need attacking options as well. So Jai Sarong would be a good get. No one really leaving.
Yep.
It's kind of boring for the Roos because they also don't have a first-round pick. So
yeah,
it might just be one
they're
of
not
those years.
raising the draft like they have the past couple of years. Any of those off-contract players that need to be re-signed ASAP?
Well, I have to double-check the Aiden Core one, but he's one of those key defenders. He might not be their best 23 anymore, but he's reliable. Like if they he's not going to be a part of their next premiership side, but they just need some experience. Will Phillips probably doesn't have a lot of value. Geordie Payne, don't know. Finbar Maley should get a new deal. Not sure about Tucker and Harvey.
Yep, easy. All right, just win some games, hey. All right, North Melbourne. No, Port Adelaide. We just did North. 3, 2, 1. Port. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. So Port will get 2 players definitely. So Jacob Weir, free agent, as we've said before, probably could be already at Alberton as we speak this morning. A flank player, hard nosed, good versatility. He's not as young as you think though. I think he's like 27.
Yeah.
He just seems young, but he's not. Will Brodie hasn't played senior footy since 2023, so I wouldn't have thought he's going to cost Port all that much. They just need some midfield depth. They lose Travis Boak, and maybe just some extra support for Butters, Rosie, Wines, Drew, and Horn Francis. And then Braden Fiorini has also been linked. I don't know if they'd get him as well as Brodie, even though Fiorini's more of an outside runner. But he has interest from the Bombers as well. And Gold Coast will probably want to keep him, particularly if they're losing Sam Flanders. So there's a few moving parts on that front for Port Adelaide. There's not really anyone leaving though. Yep. They've had a lot of exits through delistings and retirement. So Atkins retired, Boak retired, Willie Rioli retired. So there is some senior minutes there, particularly on the latter two, to fill in. But they've delisted guys like Ryan Burton, Jeremy Finlayson. And so they've been pretty cutthroat with Josh Carr now with his feet under the desk. No first round pick though. So much like North, this could be a bit of a quiet window after getting some deals done early. They'll move on.
Yep. No notes.
No
Love
notes.
It. Well done, Port.
Actually, to be fair, their best signings have been coaches.
Yeah.
Stewie Dew, great. Andy Collins, great. I think Luke Webbs was the other ones. It's a really nice team they've built around Josh Carr.
Yeah. Love it. All right. Another quiet-ish one. Richmond, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I think the only player of note that actually had interest in was Malcolm Roses, who's reportedly picked Sydney. I think AFL.com had that one. So they were in the market for a small forward, maybe just a bargain option for them. There's probably not many others out there, so they might just focus on the draft, which is what they've said for the past month or two, is that, we'll be back at the draft this year. We've got picks 2 and 3. They will have to do some trading for pick swaps, not using those 2 selections, but probably future selections to get in and late pick or 2. They've got Louis Callaway, father-son prospect.
Yep.
Might fetch a bid late into the national draft, and they'll just want to be ready for any matching bids they need to do there. So, they will lose Tyler Young though. So key defender, which they've got enough of. I do rate him as just a reliable, plug him in, go against the best forward, and hopefully he does a good job. So maybe a late pick for him from West Coast, but not a heap else happening.
Cool. Definitely more of a draft team than a trade team. Plenty of time on them, but no notes. St Kilda, biggest wallet in the game. 3, 2, 1.
So TDK, Jack Silvani both join as early as today. Although I think given Tom's a restricted free agent, that might take a little bit longer.
Yep.
Jack Silvani, I don't think it would be a restricted free agent. So they'll both move. Lecalier expected to request a trade. I don't think that's been official yet, but he'll request a trade Sounds like he's actually not going to cost them all that much from a draft pick point of view. Liam Ryan as well, although he's contracted, so there'll have to be a deal settled between those two clubs. Again, I don't know if he'll get a lot, but you'd think West Coast might ask for a little bit. So probably something better than pick 44. So maybe a future second, future third. Just depends where clubs see St Kilda, which you think is contending next year, given how they're turning the list around. Sam Flanders will be the barometer of how successful this is. Like, they've done really well, but if they can pull off getting a Sam Flanders as well, that'll be significant. I think they have great confidence that they will get him. Not a bad fit for them either. He just wants a better role, and he might get that there. The other thing is they're not losing anyone.
Yep.
They've got pick 7, which they won't have to use unless it's for Flanders. So if they don't get Sam Flanders, they still keep pick 7, go to the draft, get another good kid through the doors. So, Saints fans can be very happy.
Yeah. If they get all the, like, you just get Silvani, De Koning, Leclerc done, Liam Ryan as well, might be one of the best off seasons.
Oh, we should mention Rowan Marshall. If he stays, I think if he stays, that'll still work. Yeah. But it makes sense if he moves and they get a first round pick from him as well.
Yeah. It's time. Love it. All right. 3 more. Sydney. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Charlie Curnow.
Yeah. Do they get him or not? It's tricky. So with Petrarca going to Gold Coast, certainly helps Sydney's chances. And Sydney probably have a better draft hand and trade assets than what Geelong do. So they are in that good position. They've kind of shuffled their way into potential front-runner conversation. I think Curnow would probably prefer to go to Geelong. But if he just wants to get out of Carlton, it sounds like he's pretty keen on Sydney as well. I just don't know what the Swans give up other than pick 9. Unlike Geelong, though, they do have a top 10 pick. They can give up future picks, but they also have a few academy kids that I think they'd want to get in as well. So it's quite fascinating. It's probably a good year for them to be able to trade their 2027 selections too. In saying that, though, I don't know how many clubs want to be trading their 2027 selections just yet, because we have no idea if the value is with Tassie part of the draft or if they're delaying their expansion. So the value on 2027 selections is up in the air, which makes it pretty tricky.
Yeah.
They'll get...
In the release, they said year 1, not 2027 for all the concessions and everything.
Yeah. We'll see, really. Malcolm Roses wants to get to them. He won't cost much. Jai Sarong would be a good get. They've been linked, and they need a key defender. Jack Buller will leave for not a lot, I wouldn't have thought, to Collingwood.
Yeah. Love it. Sydney, love recruiting a big forward. So I reckon that's a pretty good chance. All right. West Coast?
West Coast.
3, 2, 1. West Coast.
So they'll be pretty busy. Brandon Starcevic's request to join them has been official. While he's a free agent, pardon me, it sounds like he'll join as a trade. So what would happen is that Brisbane might match the bid. I don't know if you have to match the bid for him to still be traded, but they'll match a bid. Even though they don't really want to keep him, they want to trade him. So one, they match a bid for a restricted free agent, forces West Coast to have to trade. West Coast will give up probably one of their late first round picks. They've got Hawthorns, they've got the assistance package pick, and they've got the first pick for the second round. So maybe one of them.
Yep.
They'll send that to Brisbane, who will get probably a better pick than what they would if free agency compensation they went down that avenue. The reason they're not going down free agency is because it would dilute West Coast's selection of pick 2 that they'll likely get for Oscar Allen. So kind of win-win for all clubs there. After Oscar Allen leaves, Brandon Starcevich comes the other way. Devon Robinson also set to head to West Coast from Brisbane. So maybe, I don't know if they package him and Starcevich up in the same deal. That might work. Tyler Young also wants to get to West Coast. So that's 3 good players as well, and certain list needs that they need to tick off. Jack Steele was linked. Don't think that happens. Tom Berry also linked, but delisted, so maybe as a delisted free agent later in the off-season. Chesser goes, Allen goes. I think that's the only 2 trade ones, free agency ones that are actually on the way out. Plus, they've got a good draft hand. This could be pretty nice for the Eagles a lot.
Last question. When was the last time a club packaged up 2 players in a trade like that?
Yeah, it wouldn't be... that's a good question.
Yeah.
I thought it happened recently, but yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember. I just couldn't remember the last time.
2 players to 1 club. Oh, there was the Darcy Tucker, Griffin Logue. I don't know if that was the same deal.
Yeah.
North had the assistance picks.
I don't think it makes sense to pack. Like, I reckon it should be, each player should be like, it doesn't really make sense to package them. Anyway, all right, last one. Doggies. 3, 2, 1.
So it seems like Connor Butterick's picked the Dogs over North Melbourne or staying at Gold Coast. Nice get for them. Really versatile. Can play off half-back, can play half forward, even a bit wide on the wing if necessary. But that's something they need. There's probably a couple of little extra role players who they know are going to perform at AFL level. They've probably got too many guys who can dominate VFL and then come into the AFL and it's just struggled a little bit for a role. So hopefully he's a tick for them. Cal Wilkie would have been perfect for them, but sounds like he might stay at the Saints. No reason the Dogs don't just keep asking the question for both him and St Kilda, just given how busy the Saints are and needing to sort what they need to sort. But they need a key defender. Mentioned Josh Sarong, maybe he's the one. Hasn't been linked, but ideal for them. I'd like to see Jed Bustlinger just explode next year. I've been a big fan of him since he's come to the draft. They've written off the idea of May. Yeah, no Stephen May. Cut Liam Jones. So they just need some support for Rory Lobb. Don't know, exactly who that's going to be at this stage. James O'Donnell's good. Jed Bustlinger, promising, but they probably just want to be competing with a better, more formidable key defensive unit. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it on the Doggies.
Cool.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Done. Well done, mate. That was good trade. Cool. Thoughts? Closing words?
Yeah.
Something will probably change in the time that we've started filming this and whatnot. But yeah, that's about it.
We'll see.
All right. Hope that was helpful. Subscribe.